Let's go!
Usually do not like putting fighting games next to regular video games because I think of them differently. Whenever I say, what are your top games of all time? I'll give you my top 5 favorite games of all time. There's no fighting games because there's a separate fighting game list, my dude. Start putting general Capcom games up here. Ones that do it for me. Not fighting games. Here we go. DMC 5. I would argue even DMC 1. Lost Planet 2! Let's go. And of all the X's, we definitely gotta put up X4. I would argue X1 also has a spot to make it up there too. You guys ever been to the Resident Evil Fjord? The Resident Evil Remake? There's Resident Evil Remake and there's Resident Evil Demake. You know what? I'm gonna give it credit. I beat this game and I really liked it. Where's BOF 3? Only Breath of Fire game that I played, but I really enjoyed it. Let's start weeding some out here, dude. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 fucking games. So, Asura's Wrath made it up here. I'm taking it off. All right, it got its nomination. We don't need to talk about Asura's Wrath anymore. So I'm also going to say Resident Evil 2 Remake I'm going to take off. It's really good, but I don't think it meets my top 10. I'm going to say Mega Man L. I'm going to wait on that. Devil May Cry 1, I'm going to say. Let's take that off. I'm going to take Breath of Fire 3 off. I'm glad I put it up here because it's also, it's a great game, but it's been a long time since I played it, but I did enjoy it a lot. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And I'll take RE7. I was mostly thinking about the VR experience, which is extremely valuable. And I'm gonna be real. I think the same way I feel about Mega Man X, which is going to be sacrilegious. I love Generations Ultimate, and I really appreciate that game for one big aspect. The limited hardware that it was running on is so impressive to me that that game is as beautiful looking as it is. But there's something about GU that I have to mention. GU was there for me, man. When I deeply was looking for Monster Hunter comfort that maybe Wilds was unable to give me at the time, to the point where I'm wondering if it was a rebound. I don't know yet. I think for that reason, I'm still visiting those thoughts in my head. I deeply like GU and I can always go back to it. But in that same way, I think I'm going to take it out of my top 10 because I am visiting those thoughts. I'm a dirty hoe. Damn it, man. Let's just put her down here, okay? I think we got 10 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to say number 10 is Lost Planet 2. Arguably one of the greatest co-op games of all time. I really like Lost Planet 1. The big bosses, the big set pieces, like this is pretty much Monster Hunter with guns. Before having any experience with Monster Hunter, now after having experience with a lot of them, I really do, man. Lost Planet 2 is a joy. Not the best game if you play it alone. It's crazy fun. It's such a good game. It needs to come back in some way. It needs to be functional. You still can't play it on Steam, I don't think. So yeah, it's great. I hope it comes back in some way and it works and it doesn't have the Games for Windows Live shit so people can experience it. It is one of the best 4-player games you can play, dude. It's so much fun. I am thinking the next game on my top 10 Capcom list, number 9. I'm gonna start putting some stuff over here. Hold up. I think my number 9 game goes to Alien vs. Predator. Not even a beat 'em up guy, but AVP is just incredible. Taking franchises that I love and doing them in the Capcom way. It's what I grew up like completely infatuated with. Quite literally within arm's reach, the old 90s books. It is a beat 'em up. It's a pretty straightforward game. It's a great beat 'em up. The amount of functionality and the amount of mechanics you can do there is super high. And I love the characters, dude. I just love them. This game is just goated in my opinion. I have a poster for it downstairs. I wish I had an arcade machine for it. The number 8 spot goes to, and I really like Devil May Cry 3. I do. But there are parts of the game in an extremely, extremely refined package of amazing things you can do that rub me wrong. The friggin' tower, man. I cannot get past the fact that the game just makes me go back through the friggin' tower again. That always hurt me in the level design aspect of it. Mission like 12, 13, 14 to 17 or something like that. The combat's so good. It literally is genre-defining combat, which is why it's so high. The fact that this game feels as good as it does in the PlayStation 2 era is incredible, which is why it deserves to be in my top 10. I beat it when it came out, and I liked it, but ultimately speaking, there were parts of it that made me not want to immediately jump in and start playing it again. It was sort of the tower thing. That being said, the number 7 spot above Devil May Cry 3 goes Mega Man X4. Zero and X, different mechanical characters. They play completely different from each other. The bosses are super fucking cool. The levels are super fucking cool. I've arguably beat this more than any other Mega Man game up here outside of 1. Yeah, X4 is great. I don't think I can put it much higher than than that. Truly goated ass game. The music and shit. X4 over X1. My argument behind that, why X1 doesn't even make my top 10, is that I find X4 to be a superior game to X1 in almost every single way. From controls to everything, dude. I get more enjoyment out of playing X4 as a game than I do X1. And I don't have a ton of nostalgia for X1 personally. There is a Mega Man game up here that gives me a deep amount of nostalgia. We'll talk about that when the time comes. And then Resident Evil Remake, it's number 6. How many times have I played Resident Evil Remake? So many. I have played Resident Evil Remake a countless amount of times on this stream. Attempt runs and modded runs and all this shit. It's just so good. It's not the best of the old school Resident Evils, but my God, dude, it holds up. The atmosphere, everything. It feels like a modern game, even though it came out back in the GameCube when I bought this shit the day it came out on the GameCube and was just like, fuck. We didn't even know what the hell remakes were, dude. Like, the idea of what a remake is was not even cemented into our heads. It's just Resident Evil 1 again. And then we played it and it pretty much completely invalidated the original Resident Evil. To me, this begins remakes substantially better than the original. Resident Evil Remake was the game to do that. After that, Devil May Cry 5. Yeah, okay. Joy of a game. I can't even tell you from the Virgil DLC to the base game how many times this game just made me laugh. I am just laughing at how fucking cool this is. Just turns me into a child. This is so cool. This is so crazy. What's happening, how the music is syncing up with this shit. It's just a wonderful game that gives you such good feelings when you play it, you know? Like, there's something about that DMC5 that's just so special. Does a really good job at hiding its level design. The level design is not good in Devil May Cry games, much less does it not need to be necessarily good. It needs to be a foundation for its combat. The combat is the hero. Fighting monsters en masse is the hero. Level design was never the core focus of any Devil May Cry game. Maybe one to a degree. But to me, I never felt that the level design in DMC5 was actually bad. It never brought down the experience. It's so goated. I can't wait to play it again. I'm just looking forward to the moment I just get to play DMC5 again. Oh no, this is getting tough. All right, so I'm fairly confident what my number 1 is. Let's just put all these games up here. We got 3 games right here. I'm going to actually put all of these up here. Yeah, that builds even more friction. Look at that. I think the number 4 greatest Capcom game of all time is Resident Evil 2. Okay. I'm fairly confident with this. OG Resident Evil 2. So in the same way as I was talking about Atmo and all that shit about Resident Evil, RE2 is the goated game. It might have the greatest game pacing of any game out there. It's a short game with like small campaigns and pieces, but the way that you play Resident Evil 2 is just so good, man. Like the way you find keys and get access to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. It's one of the most fun Capcom games to be like, hey, I'm just gonna cook Resident Evil 2 for like 45 minutes to an hour. I'm just gonna blast this thing's ass. And it feels great, man. The only time it slows down a little bit is in the sewers. Sewers are a little slow, but still an incredibly snappy, super fun game to play, dude. Such a goddamn wonderful game to play. RE2 has always got a spot and it can always be played at any time. I can see how this, for many people, could be the number 1 Capcom game. Really fun and really challenging without feeling cheap, with being in the perfect spot, you know what I mean? And that is about to become a frequent aspect of the next top 4, top 5 games, where this game rides the line of being really fun and really challenging so expertly. And I think all of the games in my top 5 Capcom games do this super well. The number 3 game is Monster Hunter World. This game, while being arguably and obviously easier than previous Monster Hunter games, removing a lot of the crazy friction that Monster Hunter games before have had, I think does a great job at being still challenging and really enjoyable and giving you reasons to move forward and grow and play. There's a lot of issues with Monster Hunter World, especially its core campaign as a whole, but to me, like, that experience, it's so epic, man. I don't think there's any Capcom game on this list that feels as like epic as Monster Hunter World. Even Monster Hunter Wilds, I don't think defines epic. I deeply like Monster Hunter World, and I've kind of gone back to it and been like, yeah, I think Monster Hunter World kind of sucks. Rise is better, you know, GU's better. I remember feeling those feelings. And then I would have moments where we go back and we play World again, just quickly. And I'm like, maybe I was too harsh. Still feels good, you know? I still like fire it up on the PlayStation and I find myself just doing missions and whacking things, and the best feeling, just the true charge slash. They know what's an important moment. Boom! Yeah, and not to mention the zones. I like all the zones in World. World's great. And it did a lot for me personally. Like, me and my wife played the holy shit out of that game. JJ loved it too. The top 2 Capcom games. A choice between the game that changed everything and the game that is effectively the Capcom game until Street Fighter 2. Mega Man 2, as much as we know, is the refined, super polished, like one of the greatest 8-bit experiences you have, and arguably one of the games that really made me. Mega Man 2, I've beaten so many times, man. It's such a great game to play outside of that stupid Wily 2 stage. We know what the greatest Capcom game of all time is. RE4 is just the best, man. It's still fucking good. The remake is legit super good. I think remake might actually knock out Lost Planet 2, but Resident Evil 4 Remake did something really fascinating to me. It made me realize how good RE4 is. It's hard to remake near perfection. It really is. This is like a near perfect fucking video game, my dude. It's adventure, it's story, it's tense, it's so much shit about it just lines up. Perfectly challenging, it's perfectly difficult. The remake is amazing, but there's a reason why the remake feels so close. RE4 Remake was pretty much RE4 Turbo, but the core gameplay experience is still mostly intact. As more time has gone on, Capcom seemed to really respect this game too, and they didn't change that much, man. RE4 is the greatest Capcom game of all time. It just is. I'll glaze the nuts off this game, dude. It is still fun. I've gone back and I've played it a multitude of times, a multitude of difficulties, tried different weapons. I just deeply adore Resident Evil 4. I think these are my top general Capcom games of all time, and I feel pretty good about this. Of all the games up here, there's only one game that I've put the most time into, and it's Monster Hunter. I'm not even kidding you. I have played more Monster Hunter World than I have any video game period over the past 15 years. That's even more than fighting games, Dad.